Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I just say.
Hello,
Hello, nice to see you. We're outside the Vietnamese Embassy.
Yeah.
This is a polite protest by Amnesty International in support of dissidents who have been imprisoned in Vietnam merely for speaking out and asking for democracy and attacking corruption in the country. We've been doing this for about 12 years now. Last year, one of the dissidents we've been supporting, who'd been in prison he was given a sentence for 8 years. He was let out 2 years early, and we heard from friends of his that he was been very pleased that Amnesty had supported him during that time by writing letters, by protesting at the embassy, and he said that the real important thing if people were in prison was to feel they hadn't been forgotten, and he asked us to continue supporting other dissidents who are in prison. There's probably 200 in prison in Vietnam, and we're supporting two in particular this year. One who's a poet who's been given 6 years for...
Can you show the...
Yes.
What is his name?
His name is... I'm difficult to translate it. There you go. Nguyen Quan Ngai. I don't know how you pronounce it. One of the Vietnamese people will pronounce it properly if you want. And Tran Huy Duc Thai. So one's a poet. He's been given 6 years for doing propaganda against the system. If you criticize the system, you can get up to 10 years.
He's facing a long time. He's in the prison now.
Yes, he's facing 6 years in prison. The other man is facing 16 years in prison.
16 years.
Because they said that he was trying to overthrow the state. But he was in fact doing the same thing. All he was doing was criticizing the government, asking for democracy in the country. The first gentleman who's in for 6 years, we heard from his family that he began a protest in prison against the conditions in prison, but as a punishment they said his family couldn't see him at all. But he had cancer, and they did take him into hospital and operated, and his wife was allowed to see him while he was in hospital, but she said that he was handcuffed to the bed all the time he was in hospital, and she hasn't been allowed to see him now that he was taken, after the operation finished, he was taken back to prison, and she's not been allowed to see him again since then. So we will continue to keep coming here year after year until hopefully they change their policy and stop putting people in prison just for trying to ask for political freedom and democracy in the country.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I wish to ask, there is in Vietnam, there is the death sentence.
There is
death sentence for somebody or is accused to do something very wrong, very heavy. There is somebody that is facing death sentence in the country, or not? What do you think?
Well, they are treated worse. The political prisoners are treated worse than the criminals.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.